All right, guys, here we go. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. The next video will probably come out sooner rather than later, as I try to avoid the end of December, mainly because Candace and I are headed up to the Blue Ridge Mountains for a little while for a much-needed vacation. So, anyways, let's get into this month's stuff. First and foremost, from 242 sales to 274 sales year over year, right? Looking pretty good, up 13.2%. We like that sales velocity. However, 2,218 listings this time last year, 2,456 listings. So if you look, we can't seem to beat that number of for sale properties down to swing us back towards sellers. Of course, the net result is going to end up being more listings, better for buyers if we don't have a lot of sales velocity. So some good news, that year over year uptick in sales is definitely helpful if you're a seller. But again, focus on a lot of things coming to market. We've said this time and again, most of the sales are happening in the lower dollar range. $350 and below is really where all the activity is. Also where none of the negotiation is. It's pretty much sellers get what they want. In single family homes specifically, in condos, a little bit of leeway. But at any rate, that's the story we got going on there. And some good news, some bad news, right? Going average price per square foot from $337 to $350, so we're up 3.9% year over year. Those of you that have been listening for a while know I don't put a ton of stock in this. Just something for you to use as a gauge. If you come to me and tell me that you want something on Las Olas Isles waterfront for $350 a foot, we're not going to have a whole lot to talk about. So again, know what zip code you're in, know what area you're in. Use the 350 number overall. The same as the other number that we're about to look at here, median pricing, right? From 319 to 332, so up 4.1% year over year. Again, something good to kind of look at for the overall marketplace. But this is going to vary by zip code. It's going to vary by product type. You're going to be pretty difficult for you to find a new construction townhome at 332. So again, use an overall measure of the market, but you take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, right? Days on market from 103 to 102 year over year, so we're just about flat. It looks on this like pricing firmed up, right? It was getting 85% of asking price, now we're getting 91% of asking price. So on the face of it, you would think, hey, we're looking good. But I will warn you, a lot of that comes from very little negotiation in where most of the sales are taking place, right? More than 50% of the sales taking place below $350,000. So you're not going to have a whole lot of negotiating power there. Flip side of the coin, my higher end buyers, time to go shopping. There's some decent discounts to be had especially once you get above $600,000-700,000. Because those properties are taking longer to sell. There's a lot on the market and they're not moving as quickly. So know the price point that you're looking at, know the product type that you're looking at. These things are going to vary depending on both. Moving right along to months of inventory. From 4 months of inventory up to 6.3, up to 6.4, up to 8.2, now at 9 months of inventory. Year over year from 9.2 to 9. Looks like we're about flat year over year, which is good, except for, like I said, look at the last few months there. Good news if you're a buyer. Means you have more properties to choose from than you did a handful of months ago, right? Bad news if you're a seller. Now, as we all know, that number 4 that was thrown in there was from a lot of the pre-sales that got all loaded into a single month. So, kind of discount that, right? It's not a real figure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't been paying attention to my videos, go back and look at the ones from a few months ago so you'll understand. Last thing I want to get to here is a lot of people have been asking me with condos in downtown, what does this look like going forward now that we have 4,000 plus units coming online? What does it mean for me as a landlord? What does it mean for me getting rent going forward? Should I sell? All right, here's what's happening in the institutional products is they're taking a single deposit, say $500 to move in. They're approving your application on the spot, so no full interview process, and they're not taking common area deposit. Compare that to what you would want if you own in, let's say, New River, right? You want first, last security. You need common area deposit for the building, and the tenant needs to go through full approval by the association, and it usually takes, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? So if you're a likely tenant coming into the area, do you want to go into a new construction building, pay a bit more money, but not have any hassles and pretty much move in the next day? Or do you want to go to an existing housing stock and go through all of this? This is why I'm telling my owners, renegotiate your current leases, keep the tenants you have in place, even if it means taking $100, $200 a month less than you were getting. It's a lot easier than having to go through the full process, or, if you have a new tenant moving in, it's going to take a while, right? And it's only going to get more difficult going forward. If you're in it for the long haul, great. Just understand your rent is probably going to be flat or pulled down a little bit because of all the new buildings and because of all the options people now have. However, at some point, these thousands of people moving into downtown are going to say, you know what? I should probably think about buying something instead of continuing to rent, irrespective of interest rates rising a little bit. They're going to be better off buying than they are renting. So at some point, I do think the market will firm up for condos in downtown. Right now, if you bought during the downturn and you can take the money off the table and you're just renting it and this isn't for personal use, I would say look at doing that, because I don't think the prices are going to continue to climb at a rapid rate. I think we're going to be relatively flat as this whole scenario of those other people that bought during the downturn start to sell their units out. I think those are going to be a lot of the likely sellers coming into the new year, those investors. And that's likely going to be your competition. So if you've been thinking about selling and you're in downtown, even if you're not in downtown, honestly, give me a call. Let's talk. Each building's going to be a little bit different, but I think the prevailing theme is going to be, if you can take the money off the table, it's probably going to be a good idea, because I don't see a catalyst coming up that's really going to boost prices. And so, hey, give me a call. Let's talk. Hope everyone has a good month, and we'll see you around the middle of December here. Take care.